Today we're making one of my favorite Korean dishes, a Pajeon, which is basically a mixed seafood pancake that people cut up like a pizza and then dip it in this nice soy-based sauce. It's really tasty and it's very popular in Korean restaurants, not only in Korea but also all around the world. And it's seen as a great snack to be taken when you're having drinks at night, and it's one of my favorite dishes to actually cook. So I've got some squid, I've got some octopus, and I've got some oysters because I think it'll just make it really interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and slice up our garlic first. And I want to quickly just flash fry all that seafood. So I'm gonna start with the squid. So really kind of thin slices all around. So I'll add the squid first. To that, we are gonna add some of my octopus. So I'm just gonna do very thin slices here as well. And finally, a couple of oysters that we can just leave whole. And season that with a little bit of salt. You don't want to cook them all the way through because once we add them back to the egg mixture, then they might overcook. So you want to keep them about 3/4 of the way there. We're going to keep that to the side. Now we're going to do our egg mixture, and it's really simple. So I have 2 eggs over here, some water, and then a little bit of flour. And then we're just going to mix this into something that will feel slightly thicker than an omelet, but not quite a pancake. I'm gonna mix into that a little bit of salt, a tiny bit of sesame oil, and then some chopped scallions. We can put some in and we can reserve some for later on, and then that goes in there. We're gonna get a pan nice and hot, a little bit of oil. So we're gonna try cooking this just on one side, so you want your fire not to be too high, because we're gonna cook the egg first, add the seafood on top, and just have everything kind of bubble through, and then cook all the way through. Once our egg is in the pan, then we can go ahead and start putting our seafood on. And since this is quite heavy, they're just gonna settle into the egg, and everything's gonna hold together beautifully. And just to top all that off, I'll grab some dried chilies here, chop a couple of them off, and add them as well. But while that's finishing up, we're just gonna make a really quick sauce. So I've got a little bit of sugar here, which I'm gonna dilute with some soy sauce, some sesame oil, and just for a splash of acidity, I'm gonna add a little bit of rice vinegar. So if you want things to go a bit quicker, what you can do is grab your other pan, just put it on top, and that heat that is rising will be trapped and then go right back down and cook the top of our pancake. After a couple of minutes, you'll see that most of it is cooked. It might be a little still liquid on top, and that's completely fine. You just want to make sure that all those pieces of seafood are actually set and that they won't go anywhere, because what we want to do now is just really toast the top really quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it onto this other pan. And then we're just gonna give that a nice sear for about 1 minute on high heat. Once that's ready, we can go ahead and flip everything onto our plate here. And our Pajeon should be perfectly cooked, just like that. You can either serve it as is or cut through it just like a pizza, and then this dipping sauce makes the whole dish, in my opinion. Put that next to it, and then we can use some of the scallions that we left over from a while ago. If you have friends over, your family over, this is kind of like the perfect party dish. It's exotic, yet very familiar and kind of fun because you eat it with your hands. And that's how you make a crispy Pajeon.